For over a century, there's been a carnival presence in Nottingham, but it hasn't always looked like the Caribbean Carnival we know today. I worked together with my friends to help make this film about the history of Nottingham Caribbean Carnival. We'll meet some of the old carnival pioneers, including Woody and William, and we have found some old archive footage and pictures that have helped us to tell the tale. What did the Caribbean bring to the carnival? Vibrancy, music, dancing and costumes.
During the 1950s, people came to Nottingham from the Caribbean during the Windrush. There was a lot of racial tension at that time, which resulted in race riots in 1958. How did the Nottingham Caribbean Carnival begin? A man called James Hylinger, also known as Woody, organised the first Caribbean Carnival on the Meadows Embankment Ground in 1958 as a way of bringing people together and having them share good times.
Here Woody explains why he started the carnival and why Nottingham Carnival might be the first Caribbean carnival in the UK.
Politically, I'd just come to the country, so I wouldn't know what's going on in the country. I've just left St. Kitts. That part of my life was gone. So I just wanted to bring it back and get other people involved so they can know what it's all about. When the London one started, but I know the first one that ever happened, it happened in '58 in Nottingham, which I've got the pictures here to prove. So I don't know what happened in London, what time, what date it started. It probably might have started a year before, probably started a year after. I don't know specifically. Everybody came. There was no specific nationality. It became an English thing because they never seen one like that, so they all joined in. Everybody came down to see what's all this noise, what's this pattern knocking and all this stuff. So everybody joined in and everybody came and participated in what was happening. It wasn't a group come from somewhere or a group come from somewhere. It was Nottingham. It was Nottingham Carnival as it is.
I think what makes it a carnival instead of a festival is the main things are the parade, the sort of carnival type of activities, the steel band music. It makes it that really makes it a festival. Carnival isn't something that is owned by anyone, really. Carnival is a participative event. It's a community thing, a participative event that people take part in. What has happened is has to be organized, of course. So there will be a group of people, a committee of people that will help to steer it and organize it for it to happen, like any other event. And that is what Carnival is about. Carnival is something that goes back hundreds of years. It is part of a religious festival, things like that. In Trinidad, I would say it is quite clear that Carnival takes place before Ash Wednesday. So it's the Shrove Tuesday, what they call Shrove Tuesday here. That's the highlight in Trinidad of the Carnival. So it's this whole weekend, it's a season, but which communicate to the whole weekend of the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of activities. The Caribbean Carnival. So we're talking about Caribbean style carnival in this country, which is a totally different type of activity. That is what it is we're talking about. That has to establish itself all over the country. Now that doesn't take place at this religious junction, but it takes place over a period of 4 months or so, May to September, over that 4 months period in the summertime, where it's warm and people could, it takes place. Yeah.
The community joined in. Most of them joined in because they followed us all the way from the city. We went to the city we left the embankment and went to the city, Market Square, and come around the Market Square and then came back down to the embankment, and we had half of Nottingham with us because I tell you, we were making a lot of noise. so yeah, everybody was. I did ask permission from the police. I had to get permission from the police. Certain roads, like the main road, there was no traffic, so we were free to come there. But it wasn't as it is now. The road wasn't as it is now because Broadmarsh was different, and there wasn't Broadmarsh Centre then. It wasn't a city centre, just Market Square, and you came straight down to the embankment. So we had half of Nottingham with us.
The Carnival Queen is an important feature of the carnival.
Here are some pictures of the old traditional carnivals in Nottingham from the early 20th century. They look very different to the carnival that we know now. The Carnival Queen looks very traditional, like the real Queen. Today's Caribbean Carnival Queen is very vibrant, colourful and dances a lot to the music.
We wondered what it might be like if we performed carnival like the Carnival Queen back in the day.
What do you think?
Competitions for the best Carnival Queen has always happened in both types of carnivals.
Before the parade, they have a competition, and quite often who is the Carnival Queen, who is the winner of the Carnival Queen. And the Carnival Queen has to do with the main headpiece of the troupe. So you have a troupe, and you got a troupe out, and the troupe demonstrate them with the main headpiece. That's the main costume, and that costume goes up for competition, and that one of them will win. You know.
And we used to use a showed room as the contest place, where the bands used to come there and used to have the competition, and we have judges to judge which band was the better band or the best band out of the lot there. But over the years it get bigger and bigger. You get other people getting involved. We had Birmingham getting involved. We had Manchester getting involved. And you had Leicester getting involved. When you minded, most of the chaps who went to Leicester were in Nottingham before, in the band and in the group. They helped to form it, they were in it. And then they went to Leicester, and then they started days in Leicester.
How did they make the costumes back in the day?
There used to be a place of the cattle market where they used to kill chicken, the chicken and so on. So we used to go there and get feathers and all. Over the different places we go to collect certain things. We know where the feathers used to be, so we go and ask for the feathers at the cattle market in there. And then some other bits we used to get from, they used to do props for the pit up Alfreton Road. We used to go there and get certain bits to help to bend the wire and that sort of stuff from there.
I think that it is good to say that costume making has been a developing art. So the sort of art that you used to do in making costumes in the 60s is you get better in the 70s, you get a lot better in the 80s and 90s to these elaborate sort of costumes that we have now. I mean, I could show you some costumes that take up half of this room. with a dove or a duck or something, and feathers and all sorts of stuff. It's a very elaborate costume. And if I was to show you some of them, I hope I can have the time to show you some costumes that they make. It's a developing art form over the years that sort of reached to where it is now. That they couldn't do what they do now in the 60s or 70s.
One of the main ways that the carnival has changed is the health and safety.
Most of the people that joined the carnival, they were grown-up people, and they were also enjoying themselves too much about health and safety. There was not as it is today, no barriers around and that sort of stuff. It was an open park, and it was open to the public. Anyone can come in. There was no searching. You couldn't search to see what you got. Nowadays, they have to search you before you get into the carnival. That sort of stuff.
How has the music on Carnival changed over the years? On today's Caribbean Carnival, we are used to seeing large lorries with sound system boxes playing reggae and soca music. Here the Carnival pioneers discuss the importance of steel bands and calypso music.
At one time we had 10 steel bands. And at that time there wasn't any pushing or anything like the frames. There was pans around the neck. And they were coming from the embankment through the city and back to the embankment, pan around the neck. We also had on the day a steel band competition.
Not many steel band goes on the road nowadays for the past 10 years because the system has changed. What they use is box trucks with a sound system on the road. That has changed. So all the trucks have the sound system on the road, or they will have the live artists singing on the trucks, singing the local songs that is the song of the day. And that song has moved from calypso to soca, from soca to a kind of modern day kind of hip hop, hip hop or kind of thing like Bungie Darling and Michael Montano, and that's so also there's evolution there to take place. But in Trinidad, the whole country enjoys carnival.
And we meet Alexander the Great, a true carnival calypsonian.
Calypso provides everything I want. I want to protest against injustice. I can do so in the form of music from my own home country. And I continue to do that. Make sure you go to Nottingham Carnival, Nottingham Carnival. Give you a show, make sure you're about Nottingham Carnival. I want to see everybody down there, Nottingham Carnival. Shaking your waist and having a cool beer, Nottingham Carnival.
We hope that you have enjoyed our film. We hope to see you at the Nottingham Caribbean Carnival.